can't do it by themselves. And with a young team early in the season, what I learned, you got to make it really hard. You got to be really specific. You got to start defining things earlier than I did. But I will tell you, this has been, for me, to see the joy in individual players. And I'm talking from our best player to one of our walk-ons. It's been an amazing ride. I will say to you that I think you can see that we coach every player as though they are our star. Marcus Lee got coached even when he was not playing, like he was Julius Randle, the same way. And Dominic Hawkins got coached like he was Andrew Harrison. So when their opportunity came, they were ready, because these kids are all important to us, not just the guys that are scoring the most points.
Toward the front on the right side.
John, how has this season tested you physically as well as emotionally?
Your name and media outlet.
Ben Spiegel, New York Times.
Well, I had hip replacement a while back, and I'm going to have another hip replaced. And so for about the last 3 months, if anybody's ever had a hip issue, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The season the end of it is coming at a good time. Let me just put it that way. I'm going to have to deal with this after the season's over, but the adrenaline you have and how you feel for your team pushes you through all that.
On the right side.
Noah Kozlov, Cinesport. Coach, could you look at win-loss record to determine whether or not this team had bought in yet? Or when did you figure out when they did actually buy in?
These kids have been... This is the type of team that I say, they're going to do what we ask them to do. So let's be right. A lot of what happened with this team falls back on me. When I tell you what I did to change and the tweak that I made, you will say, why didn't you do it earlier? And I have no good answer. The only thing I can come back with is maybe they wouldn't have accepted it 2 months ago. Maybe they had to get knocked down a little bit lower. But the 2 or 3 things we did, I could have done earlier. I think, again, what happens when you're coaching this many young, good players and you're trying to figure everybody out, you don't do the job you need to do. And it finally got to the point where I'm like, we've got to get this right as far as who's where and how we're going to do this. They've always liked each other. They've always, they're good kids. They respond in a great way. No issues. A B average academically. We don't have issues. They go to class. They do what they're supposed to do. But they were so young, they needed me to be a little different than I was throughout the year. And I think I've never practiced this long late in the year. They needed it. I've never really done some of the things that I've done with this team this late, but they needed it. And they've responded to it.
On the aisle to the right side.
Tim Sullivan, Louisville Courier-Journal. John, two-part question about Julius. To what extent has he benefited from the change in the block charge rule, and given his physical dimensions and abilities, have you been able to exploit that, take advantage of that to the extent that you might want?
Well, he's being played like Shaq was played in college. He's got 3 guys on him, and you have teams after the game that said, I want 6 sets of eyes on him when he drives. So you could talk about the charge block, but not when you got 3 guys playing you and they're being physical and they're grabbing and bumping. And then it's like, well, he's big enough. He should be able to take that. So I wouldn't say that it's had that kind of impact on him. But what it's done is it made the other team say you got to guard him with 2 or 3 guys. If that makes sense.
Staying down in front, Coach, on the right.
Hey, Coach, Eddie Pels from AP. I've got to ask if there's a new catchphrase you'd like to bust out instead of one and done. But before you answer that, the other question is there any conversation with players during the recruiting process about the NBA?
It's the elephant in the room that we don't need to talk about. Every player that I've recruited, and they'll tell you, I say the same thing. Don't plan on coming to school for 1 year. You're making a huge mistake. But if after 1 year you have options, that'll be up to you and your family. You plan on being in school 2 or 3 years. But if after 1 year you have options, that's up to you and your family. Enjoy the experience, enjoy the college environment, because the rest of it is work. It's not about family, it's about business. So enjoy it. But for 1 year, if you have options, that's up to you and your family. So that's what we've talked about. Now, I was hoping we could do it, and I still may do it, but again, the connotation that's been built around one and done is so ridiculous. To make it a bad thing, it's a negative thing, and it's not used in other sports. It's not used in other areas of life where people stay in school a year and leave. So the thing that we've been talking about is succeed and proceed. Succeed and proceed.
On the left side?
You cannot proceed until you succeed. Succeed and then proceed.
Sorry, President.
It will be on T-shirts, so.
Can we proceed over here? Adam Himmelsbach, Louisville Courier-Journal. You mentioned your hip. You talked this year about just being tired. How has it kind of affected your day-to-day operations at all, or changing the way?
I'm just limping bad. I mean, I was taking some pain medication for 4 straight days, and I just said, that's it, I'm not doing it. And it's, you don't sleep as good. You don't get the 8 hours you're waking up, you're going, but I'm fine. The job at Kentucky ages you. It's not my hip.
Next
I
question.
look at a press conference I had 5 years ago. I didn't look like this. It's not my hip. It's
John, Matt Norlander, CBSSports.com. Do you feel a personal responsibility to alter the discussion around one and done when you talk about succeed and proceed? Or is it something that you talk about with other coaches? But has this been I don't know if burden is the right word, but something that you've kind of wanted to get out even further and more over the past couple of years?
I have the bully pulpit right now, so I can talk about it. But my thing is, I'm proud of what we've done for these young people. We've had 4 years of a B average. We've graduated 12 guys. We've had guys that have gone on to the NBA and had college degrees. We've had 17 players drafted. Many of those just changed the whole direction of their family. Every one of them in the league right now is doing well. It's not like guys are going and they should have never left, they didn't make it, look at this. They're all doing well. Not only they're doing well, they're giving back to their communities. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Samaritan's Feet, he's like their major spokesperson. You have John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, who gave $1 million back to charity as soon as they signed their contracts. Are you kidding me? So the connotation is no one wants to put their arms around this, and I don't care if you do or not. This is about the kids to me. And so when I said, why don't we make this about succeed and proceed? If you don't succeed, you can't proceed. If you do succeed, you can proceed. It's just how it is.
Follow up for Matt.
Follow-up. I mean, there's discussion about Adam Silver embracing the fact that a 20-year minimum, 2-year. Do you have any sort of affirmative opinion on?
I don't know if you've.
I don't know your specific opinion on this, so I apologize if you've been asked for it. I just want a little clarification on that, John.
For probably the last 5 or 6 years, I've said we need to go to a 2-year, and the reason is it's great for high school players because you have a lot of high school players that all are thinking they're one and done. It's great for the college game because you're going to have more continuity with players. For the players, it's good, and I'll tell you why. 2 years and 2 summers, they're 1.5 years away from a college degree. Now, you're 1.5 years away. You can come back. You can do this. Now you can always tell your children when they say, well, Dad, wait a minute, I played professionally and I got a college degree. You're going to school. I did both. The other side of it is the NBA, in my opinion, they have a 4-year contract. If you want kids to stay for 3 years or 2 years in school, take one of those away. Now you got a 3-year contract. So